College football action here, and we're getting closer to the end of our 19th season. The Utah Utes, see on the screen, keep on rolling. Indeed they are. We're going to do an audio check. We hear the audio, which is good. We're going to send out the tweet to let the peoples know that we are live, but we got two big games ahead of you. We're going to be taking on the Missouri Tigers, and we're going to be taking on the Kansas State Wildcats. The Missouri Tigers are an interesting team because you look at their record. They are at 6-2, and they definitely have an opportunity to, do you call it an upset? I don't know, an unranked team playing the number one team, but they are at home, and they definitely have a chance to sneak in there, maybe get the win. We'll take a look at their schedule here and some of their numbers on the screen there. But this is Missouri, and they're coming off a loss to BYU, a pretty bad loss to a weak BYU team. But you can see what they've done, including their only other loss being a close loss to the undefeated Texas Longhorns. But other than that, they've been cruising through the rest of their opponents, including a very good Colorado team, including a very good ranked Nebraska team. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into it. We can take a quick look at the Missouri leaders here and see your guys. It is CJ Smith, the senior, leading the charge at quarterback, and he's a pretty decent quarterback at that. 17 touchdowns, just 8 picks on the year. And the rushing attack is Chad Freeman, another senior, 715 yards on the year. And leading the way receiving-wise is the junior, Lee Garcia. So let's hop into it here, and we are going to go, of course, you know our combo by now, the 010 look, and we're going to throw the red on here. We'll go with the black socks as well. For Missouri, though, I don't know if there's any Missouri alum out there. I really like these helmets right here. I think they should just go to those primary, like full-time. I think those are the best. We'll look at the different options here. The matte, the black on black, not as good. Nothing wrong with those, but I think those are super cool unis. Let's see what jerseys we got here for Missouri. I always really like these two, the gold jerseys. Look pretty solid. Those are real old school. No one uses those stripes anymore going down the side. But yeah, that's the look right there, I think. And then for pants, so we can, I don't know, let's see. Gold and black look kind of good. The all black. What do you guys think? I like the stripes. Like, it definitely has like a tiger claw mark. What about gold and white? Throw them in the old gold and white. We can do all gold. We can do the gold and black. And put some gray. I think we'll go with gold and white. And the shoes can be black and team color. Yeah, that's looking sharp right there. There's Missouri. So here we go. We got to come into this one strong. We got to be prepared. And we got to try to take down this Missouri squad who's coming in with a pretty decent record. So we'll see how this one turns out. How you guys enjoying your Saturday so far? It's Royal Rumble Saturday. So that'll be fun coming up. Maybe we can get done with the regular season. If we play this again tomorrow, we'll probably finish out the regular season. We're going to play 2 games here. And we're still leading the way offensively with points. Our passing game is up there, and our defense is still the tops in the nation. As you see, points, yards, rushing. The passing, 20th, but we are kind of dominating. Where Missouri, their offense, they're down in the 40s, but they boast a pretty solid defense, except for the rushing attack. So there you go. There you got a look at some of your top players there. You know our guys, and they got a couple guys out with injury. So we'll see if we can take advantage of that. The Missouri Tigers, the Utah Utes, coming your way. another look at the stats there on the screen. A lot of chatter about the Rumble tonight. Hey, welcome. We got Olivia Smith, 12, and a follow. Thank you so much, Olivia Smith. Thank you for the follow. Glad to have you here. What brings you by? That's going to be follower number 63. How about that? We're getting close to the big 100, the triple digits. Glad to have you aboard for some college football. Jump in the chat. We like chatting with all you guys. All right, here we go. Utah, Missouri looking to go to 9-0. Coin flip is lost, and Missouri will kick it away here, which means Andrew Cross and company will start here on the road. Definitely a winnable game for Missouri. We'll see how this one turns out. Good blocking. And Newton eventually brought down at the 30. You see Zach Smith, he's been our go-to guy at the receiving core. Definitely one of the tops, the guy that's been helping out old Andrew Cross the most. Here we go. Unique atmosphere in Missouri. You see, I mean, the back, seats back there, the rock formation. The folks just sitting on the lawn, like almost like a baseball game. And Jerome Perry is going to make the first catch of the game. 374 yards on the year for Perry. Starting Utah off the right way. Hand off to Bill Bradford, and Bradford gets met by Zach Montoya, the senior, number 1. Barely let Bradford get out of his break there, and Montoya was right there to bring him down. Hey, we got score alert. What do we got down there? We got Miami and Clemson, ACC duel right there. Andrew Cross is going to toss it to Odom, and Odom got sandwiched. Cross just pitched out to the open man, so it's third down and long here, 3rd and 12. After that initial first down, so Missouri could have Utah in a good way here. And boy, there was no time there. Tommy Douglas gets the sack. Yeah, untouched. Completely untouched. You saw Matt White right there, number 68, trying to throw a block, but he was too late. So, 1 first down, and then we go 3 plays and end up on a 4th and 21 and got to give it right to Mizzou for their first possession here. That is a great punt. Nicely done. Toby McPherson. The old rugby roll there. And here we go. You're getting your first look at the Missouri offense. C.J. Smith, the senior. And they're going to line up I formation here. And the give to Freeman. And that's all the further that Chad Freeman will go. Was that, I couldn't get a number on that. Was that 96? That would have been Sean Hicks if it was with the tackle. It's hard to shout out to Be My Spotters if you're in the chat and you can see what number. Be like, oh yeah, that was 96. Give me a heads up. I can't tell. 2nd and 8. Smith to throw it for the first time here. Pocket collapsing, and he was able to just get rid of it to Chad Freeman. And it'll be a 3rd down and 4. For Missouri, going up against number 1, going up against our Utah Utes in our 19th season. 17 with Utah, 1 with Wyoming, 1 with Florida State. And C.J. Smith way off target. He had an open receiver down the field, William Ramsey, the sophomore, but he just overthrew him there. So 3 and out for Mizzou. We'll take that all day. Absolutely. All right, back at it for the Utah offense. Slow start to the game on both sides. 5:33 left here in the first. And there is Zach Smith. Andrew Cross put it right on the mark. Smith kind of hit the stutter step, came back for it, brought it in. And we'll pick up the second first down of the game for either team here. Utah has not tried to run the ball since that early attempt where Bill Bradford was dropped way behind. Tackle made by Terry Tyler. Is that the Red Rooster? I don't know. Second and 7 out of the gun, and it will be a back to the handoff, and Bradford only getting 2. Brought down by Tommy Douglas. So 3rd down and 5 for the Utes. We got an upset alert as Purdue is going to go up on Iowa pretty early on here. Boy, in real life, they had a successful season. Oh, Andrew Cross not going to be able to get the first down. Tommy Douglas shoved him out of bounds. Poor Iowa was in the hunt for the college football playoff all season long and just kept falling short of the mark. A successful season nonetheless. It's always too bad, the narrative in college football. You got to go undefeated or it's not a successful season. I mean, still winning 10, 11 games every year is pretty darn good. Going for it here on 4th and 3, and Jerome Perry is able to get off his block, get the reception from Andrew Cross, and pick up another Utah first down. 5 of 5 for Andrew Cross here, the sophomore. We were hyped there, our highest quarterback recruit in the history of this program. And that's why we ranked number 1. Big things we're hoping for the freshman year. Maybe a little too much pressure, didn't quite get the big win that we were hoping for. We did get the Fiesta Bowl victory over Ohio State. Bill Bradford. 3 yards for Bradford, and 3rd and 5 for Utah. Successful second drive, but the big to-do of this offense all year has been the fact that we've struggled. We're not in the red zone yet, but we do struggle when we get into the red zone to put the ball in, and open is Zach Smith. Can't let that. You can't play zone on Zach Smith. He's going to bring everything in. Fantastic out there. He could be the next Cooper Kupp. Always had really, really good receivers, not just on this Utah team, but the Troy team in the past that we coached on the old YouTube channel, which, as we always got to bring up, we're going to be uploading those old episodes to Patreon. So stay tuned for that. And Cross dumping off to Zach. We might even upload some more Patreon content with you right now when we go into the quarters and halftime and all that stuff. We can pop that up. 2nd and goal. 9-play drive for the Utes. And out to Bradford. Nearly got into the end zone. A 7-run carry by Bill Bradford.
That makes it
3rd and goal. Utah's going to go outside. And for some reason, that always happens. That stutter step happens. I forgot about that with this game. So Zach Montoya, and that actually injured Bradford, so we're just going to take the 3. I don't know what. I've never had that. In 19 seasons, I've never had that stutter step issue. All of a sudden, it's creeping up now in season 19. Extra point, or the field goal, is good. Hey, Utah, and bruised elbow, so Bradford, he's going to hit the showers for 2 quarters here. As McPherson boots it deep. And that is where the second possession for the Utes of Utah for defense will be. Oh, boy, I accidentally hit to keep him in the game. I did not mean to do that. But there's no going back on it now. Smith is going to run. I didn't know he was a mobile quarterback. Oh, my God. He's still going. What a run by C.J. Smith. looking at the numbers before the game, he didn't look like a mobile kind of quarterback. My goodness, so we got to keep an eye on that. Don't let that happen again. That was a big run. How many yards was that? Wasn't even looking when they probably put it on the screen there. 1st and 10 for Mizzou. And Smith, that was into all kinds of traffic. It fell incomplete, looking for Ramsey. William Ramsey, the sophomore. It's a couple times he's tried to hit Ramsey and hadn't quite worked out yet. Second and 10. Quick throw and a great job, Ben Jackson. Diving and knocking that one away. They're trying to do the quick stuff like us, but ain't working for him. 3rd down for Missouri. Third and 10 for the Tigers. And he's able to find Lee Garcia. We were putting the pressure on C.J. Smith, but he was still able to somehow get away from the pressure, even though we were, like, all over him. He was able to get it away to Garcia. Oh, my God. We're getting breaking news here. We might have to take a pause. It is, according to this, it says Tom Brady is reportedly retiring. Not official, but it says reportedly. Tom Brady reportedly ends NFL career. Wow, we got to go on Twitter real quick. We're gonna let the computer keep doing this. That might heat up Aaron Rodgers to the Buccaneer talks now. The score at the score. Wow, I did not believe it, honestly. We're going on Twitter right now. Sorry for this delay. I mean, this is big breaking news.
Loss of 3 yards on the play. That makes it 3rd and 11.
I thought he had at least a couple more years left in him. Should we change the name of the stream? Tom Brady retires? That's like the whole thing right now. We'll change it up. Intercepted by Porter, which is great. We just changed the name of the stream. Tom Brady retires? What? We gotta take another. We're doing a Twitter once over here. TB12. Man, it's a shame for it to end after the Rams game. I mean, he gets 7 Super Bowls, right? But for that ending to be the one that ended it, to be sitting on the bench and watch your defense give up those 2 plays. I thought he had a lot longer to go. Yeah, Tom Hannafin, the commentator for Impact Wrestling, he said generally felt like this was still years away. I felt the same thing too. I didn't think it was gonna happen anytime soon. Who's the top quarterback now left in the league? I mean, it's what, Patrick Mahomes and Rodgers, right? Who else besides them? Just going through Twitter right now. Yeah, sorry we put a random pause into this episode here, but this news just came through. Adam Schefter's reporting it. Didn't really seem to be anything. It's mainly just Adam Schefter saying it, and then I got the first update from the Score. I get the update from the Score on the Score app. My goodness. Well, I'm with you, Tom. Felt like this was years away. Here's a recap of Brady's 22-year career: 7 Super Bowl titles, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 13, 3 NFL MVPs. Let me get all these numbers right. 7 Super Bowl titles, 5 MVPs of the Super Bowl, 3 NFL MVPs, 15 Pro Bowls, 6 All-Pros, the NFL's all-time passing leader, 624, the NFL's all-time yards leader, 85,520, and the most career wins, 243. My goodness, he's played 3 years longer than any other player in the NFL draft. Yeah, I mean it's the talk of the town right now. Wow. Well, this whole stream just took a big pause, didn't it? I mean, this is big news, big business. Just checking all the different tweets right now. We're gonna get back to the game in just a moment, but man, oh man. He's one of our followers on Twitter because we do the of the people we follow. We follow the Wind Surge because, well, now I mean when we play the baseball game now, it's really like he is retired. But alrighty, well, let's get back to it. There's the big news. If anyone wants to jump in, wants to chat the big news, I guess it's not official from Brady himself, but it's been reported. Man, poor Tampa. I mean, I'm glad that I bet Tampa's happy they got the Super Bowl. They got the 2 years out of them, but where do they go from here? They got Gabbert next, and I know my family's not going to be happy, big Bucks fans. All right, that's the end of quarter number 1 on Tom Brady retirement day. Allegedly. All right, 2nd and 16. That was a lot of loss of yards we just had. 2nd and 16. Andrew Cross again. Zach Smith. As long as they keep playing off of Zach Smith, we're going to keep going to him. We're going to have to keep checking Twitter periodically, too, as this news keeps coming through. See if it is official. We want to hear from the man himself. Whoops. Oh, my God. I don't know how to flip plays. Oh, sent the wrong button. I lost my... There we go. I'm so flustered with the Brady news. It's kind of crazy, but you heard it here first. If you didn't hear it online first. Decent blocking. Bradford. 9 yards on that screen pass. Maybe Andrew Cross is going to be the next Tom Brady, huh? Still wild to think about if it is really it, man, to end those last 2 years in Tampa. Obviously, the Bucs gained the best chance to win. They did get the one Super Bowl. But it's just kind of wild that didn't finish it out in New England. Went to Tampa for 2 years and got that one extra ring. Man, I didn't want it for him, though. Too bad to end the way it did, though. If it is it, with sitting on the bench, you lead that amazing comeback. Because they probably could have beaten. There's a good chance they... I mean, anything can happen in football. But there's a really, really good chance that they beat the San Francisco 49ers. That they probably outmatch that team. We'll see tomorrow when they play the Rams what kind of team the 49ers are. Oh, my God. Zach Smith, Mr. Sure-Handed, loses the football. It's scooped up by Terrence Mendoza. Maybe we'll get a video review out of this. Was he down or did he really fumble it? Oh, he was down. He was down. Reverse that. But yeah, man. I mean, to lead another great comeback. I mean, they got beat up. They got overmatched in that Rams game for sure. But the comeback was led. The big pass to Mike Evans. And then to be sitting on the sideline and watch your defense give it up, man. But we'll see. Like I said, we will periodically keep checking in to Twitter, maybe even Facebook, and see what the people say on this Tom Brady retirement day. Andrew Cross is just going to throw this one away out of the pocket there. That was the first incompletion of the game for Andrew Cross, and it came on heavy pressure from the Missouri defense. 3rd and 8 for the Utes. More pressure, and down goes Cross, sacked by Phil Downing. And there was no blocking right there. Eddie Kramer, he is a freshman. He watched as the senior Downing blew right past him. And at 35, you know what, we're going to go for it. Because, again, I realize it's 4th and long. I get that. Very long. But my whole thing's always been, our field goal kicker at 40, that is a long kick. My whole thing's always been take a shot. If it's an interception or turnover, them getting the ball at the 35 versus them getting the ball at the 20. It's a 15-yard. It's not a big difference. I'd rather go for it and take a shot here on 4th and long. That's exactly what we're going to do. And there's more pressure on. And Cross is going to heave it into the end zone. Incomplete. Tommy Singleton was the intended receiver. And that fell incomplete. More pressure from the Missouri defense, so they're keeping it tight here. Kind of fitting we're playing football here. Oh, almost a beautiful one-handed effort by Garcia. But he could not hang on to it. Lee Garcia. (3-0) Utah, #1 in the nation, leading Missouri. The give to Freeman, and Freeman quickly brought down by Sam Harris, who's a freshman on our side. A couple of freshmen name dropping here. CJ Smith. And the crazy thing is, too, about the Brady thing, Brady said he had Brady said he was going to take like a month or two to decide. The fact that he made this decision less than a week after the NFC divisional game against the Rams, that's nuts. Oh, intercepted. That's Porter, the second time he's going to get the interception, and we're going to get our first touchdown of the game. There you go, Steve Porter. 2 INTs. And that was a big one right there to put 7 on the board for the Utah Utes. They were going for a screen pass. Boy, every time they tried to hit William Ramsey. It's been a disaster for Missouri. But yeah, the whole Brady thing, I'm going to believe it when I actually hear it from him. I still feel like Tom Hannafin said on Twitter, felt like this was years away. But I don't know. He said he was going to take a month or two to talk it over. And the fact that this came 6 days after losing a playoff game just seemed kind of out of left field. But we'll see. Let's do another Twitter check here. See if there's any more big names that are commenting on this. Missouri will step back onto the field. Smith. Oh, that was gutsy. After just giving up a pick six, they immediately try for another screen pass. To the same player. Lucky that it didn't have the same result. Second and 13. Welcome to the new folks joining in. What do you guys think about this potential true news about Tom Brady's retirement? Do you believe it? Do you wait to hear what he says? Still browsing Twitter here. Any news that you guys see from any big names too? Patrick Mahomes commented they pitch it. Boy, the Missouri offense, that's even though we haven't done a whole lot offensively, we've only managed a field goal and a pick six, but their offense has not done anything. Anthony Romano, this is my same thought. Anthony Romano, who, let's see, Anthony Romano is sports at WDBJ7 in Virginia. He says, no way in hell Tom walks away after that. 0. It's kind of my thought too, but we'll have to wait and see. Give to Bradford. Not much on the ground game from Bill Bradford. Julian Edelman says thanks for the memories at Tom. Man, Fox Sports is saying it. Now it's starting to feel, that's starting to feel more real than just speculation by one guy. No retirement tour, too. That's what a lot of people are saying. It's kind of the Larry Fitzgerald, right? He didn't play at all last year. Larry Fitzgerald is another great legend that didn't ever say anything about his retirement. He just hasn't played. I kind of was hoping, as a Cardinals fan, like how the Rams brought back, they brought back the cornerback that they brought back just to play in the playoffs. I thought, oh, maybe they're gonna do that for Fitzgerald. He'll just waltz in, because the Cardinals were not the same team after DeAndre Hopkins went out. But
That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
just looking at Twitter, that's why I'm not commentating as much as I usually do. And Rick Stroud, who is covers the Bucs for the NFL Tampa, says, pump the brakes. Tom Brady has not informed the Bucs of his plans to retire. No, he hasn't that we know of. Bruce Arians just told me. Agent Donald Yee told us he hasn't made up his mind. So that's one. I'm going to search for Bruce Arians. Because that's the first person I've seen coming out against it. This is also the only person I've seen say anything about. Well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting as things continue. It's apparently already. I need to check NFL.com. It's apparently already on NFL.com, and if NFL.com has it, it's serious business, right? First down, Bradford. I mean, it's right front page, NFL.com. Goodbye, GOAT. Tom Brady retiring. So we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting. I still don't buy it until I hear it from him. I'm with Tom Hannafin. Felt like this was years away. Underthrow there by Andrew Cross. But we shall see. We'll definitely see. Our defense here, Utah defense, having another spectacular game. Oh, God. And just got rid of that one. Utah offense, not so much, but the Utah defense having another good one. And that might be the thing that just ends up getting us to the big game, the big dance at the end. The $1 million game and the national championship. 3rd and 10. And Cross connecting with Nick Odom. First down. Under 2 to play. 12-16 for Andrew Cross. Jermaine Cox for 14. And once again, Utah within scoring range. Cross rolling out. And that was not where we wanted. We were trying to throw the ball to the right-hand side. Just so you know, when I threw this pass, that's not going to be a good angle. The intended angle of this pass, and I held, I guess, I don't know which games have directional passing or not. I held the joystick to the right to throw the ball, hoping to throw it somewhere here. And you can see where the ball ended up being thrown. Luckily, it wasn't an interception, but the intention was to lead the receiver to the right, and it didn't work. So anyway, 2nd down and 2. Touchdown, Aaron Price. Did you guys enjoy the streams yesterday? Last night we played Pokemon Arceus Legends, and we played some Street Fighter. I'm probably going to play some more Pokemon later tonight. Not streaming it. As I said, with Switch games, it's not going to be chronological like the PS4 or the Xbox games because it's handheld and it's much easier to play. Look at this potential upset. It's much easier to play handheld. I'm probably going to play a good amount of it during the Rumble tonight because now they're doing the thing where on Peacock they, which is kind of stupid. Like, I get they have commercials on Peacock, but just because we're not seeing the commercials, we're still having to sit through them. Like, at day 1, we got a bunch of, like, video packages of Bianca Belair and Big E and stuff. So we had to sit there for 3 minutes and watch these packages that had nothing to do with the show just because Peacock was running a commercial. So even though we might not be paying for Peacock with commercials, we still have to sit through ad breaks. So that's probably when I'm going to bust out the old Switch and play a little bit of Arceus Legends during the Rumble, and maybe during some of the pre-show too. The panel discussion stuff is always, I kind of like how they used to do pre-shows on Sunday Night Heat back in the day. The panel, not always the most exciting in the world. And has Missouri gotten any first downs? They had the one with the CJ Smith run, but only 38 yards passing for Smith. And Smith is going to try to take off again, and that's been the most successful that Missouri has been in this game, is when CJ Smith gets running. He's got to have almost 40 or 50 yards on the ground so far in those 2 big rushes. Here goes Smith again. That might put Missouri in field goal range. We need a QB spy situation here. There we go again. Oh, come on. I hate not being able to just pick a QB spy play. Like, it's so annoying. Freaking Madden's like this, too. The plays, like, aren't readily available, so you gotta go here, and you gotta do adjust, and say you don't have time to search for it. It's so annoying. Just give us a package of QB spy plays, or make an easy button. But it's, like, ridiculous. Like, okay, where's my QB spy play? I'm looking. Oh, they're running a play. And there he runs it, and luckily we stopped him that time. But it's stupid. That really ticks me off, and Madden's like that, too. They're going to run out of time. Oh, my God. They had one timeout on the clock, and they didn't use it. What a clock management disaster for Missouri. That was awful. They had one timeout, and they did not use it. Oh, my God. All right, we're checking Twitter again during halftime. See if there's any more big news about Brady. NFL Twitter, they seem pretty sure about it. Some people are saying Tom Brady's going to enter the Royal Rumble with Gronk tonight. All right, kicking off to Mizzou, second half. Everyone, because I follow a lot of Broncos people. They're the only team that's beaten Brady 3 times in the postseason. Oh, TB12 Sports. Hey, that's really close to my that's really close to my Twitch name, TB12 Sports. I'm TB too. They tweet about thank you for everything, Tom Brady. That's the first official word from his company. Here's more from Adam Schefter. Let's read this. Kind of just letting the computer do the defensive parts. He got an unsportsmanlike conduct in his final NFL game, huh? It says the roster turnover that Tampa is expected to go under is another big reason for his decision. Reading this article from Adam Schefter. But it'll be interesting. We'll have to wait and get the official word. That's what I'm still waiting for. I mean, I've only seen one person that's come out so far, and he was verified on Twitter. He was a reporter in Tampa that said, Bruce Arians said, nothing's been told to me yet. Can we focus on... Oh, good Lord. That was a deadly hit there from Lee Anderson. So I need to figure out this quarterback spy thing because it's really got to happen. So you do this, and then there's no... So there's no... So that's the problem, is trying to figure out the option here. I need to just go... NCAA 14 QB spy. We're Googling this now. But this is for Madden. I went for NCAA 14. There's got to be an easy way to do this. But we stopped him anyway, so what the heck. There's like no QB spy play, just cover. No. Or, you know, the easy thing to do is just give us a playbook of QB spy plays, but, you know. All right, so Missouri, they've kept this game close, closer than it should be based on how their offense has been doing. But we still are maintaining the shutout lead, and there's going to be some great blocking and a great reception and yards by Bill Bradley. Tommy Douglas has been the savior for Missouri. A couple of big plays that our Utah team could have had for touchdowns. Douglas has been there to knock our guys out of bounds, which is great. We give to Bradford. Oh, Bradford tried to lower the shoulder, and instead he got flipped back. Oh my God, the back, it was Jeff James, by the way, with that hit. Bradford's head like bounced off somebody's knee as well. But he's all right. You know, take a salt tablet and get back out there. Take a salt tablet. 2nd and inches. Bradford again, and inches isn't going to happen. As Bradford pushed back. Mendoza was there. He also had Jeff James in there as well. And Bradford going down again. That means Aaron Price is going to have to step back in on 3rd and short. This offense, I don't know how to feel. I mean, they have their moments where they're not great, and that might be the only thing keeping this from being one of our best teams at Utah. And I'm glad I actually played with them, because I was not going to after YouTube deleted everything, and I was like, boy, are people going to want to see this in the middle of season 19 after everything's been erased? But here we are, and I'm glad we did, because you're getting some good teams. All right, you got to come out. Now you're really getting in a bad way. We're going to try to pitch it, see if the stutter step is not there. See, there's the stutter step. Do you see that? Why does it do that? It's never done that. That little stutter step right there, and it screws everything up. It has never, in 19 seasons, I've never had that issue. 2nd and 15. Cross just had to buy time and connect with Zach Smith. Tackle made by Terry Tyler.
That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
3rd down and 6 for the Utes. Left open. Terrence. Jason Newton. Where'd I get Terrence from? Jason Newton. First catch for our top flight kick returner. And I'm proud of the job we're doing. I mean, a 6-2 Missouri squad that was coming off a loss that you knew was going to want to bounce back. I don't know why Bradford's back in there when we put him on the bench, but nonetheless. But you want to bounce back after a rough loss and a team that nearly beat Texas. And here we are. I mean, it's all lining up for this big clash. I mean, what happens if number 1 and number 2 do indeed compete in the Big 12 championship game? Does the losing team get into the college football playoff? Do they get in there? I think the committee in real life probably would, but we're going to have to see how all our rankings end up. Boy, Cross couldn't find anything, and once again, we're going to stall out in the red zone. Well defended. And we're going to have to send on Travis Richardson to make this another field goal attempt. And it's good by the freshman. 20-0. Utah over Mizzou on the road here. Big kick booted out of the back of the end zone. Not a lot of yards on the day for Mizzou. Let's see if we can figure out this QB spy thing. Nope, still don't figure it out. Well, the give to Freeman. And Freeman just got turned inside out by David Richards. Chad Freeman's not had much either. He's almost a 1,000-yard rusher, but he's been kept in check by our guys. I mean, I have no idea how to do a player walk. I've been playing this for 19 seasons. I feel like there used to always be a playbook because it was only Madden that didn't have that. There was one game that had the package. Maybe it was Madden 12. There's a QB spy, which will help. That's all I'm asking for. One of these games, just give me a package of playbooks that's just for the QB spy. First down, Missouri. C.J. Smith to Eric Arnold. Not an offensive powerhouse of a game here. Barely 400 yards between the two teams combined. That's usually one team's offensive output. It's like a smash mouth slugfest out there. Smith keeps it. He hasn't fumbled the ball yet. Normally, we're able to get some fumbles on these QBs, but C.J. Smith hasn't. This Tom Brady. Cobra, what's going on? Did you hear the big news? Big news. It's going to be the talk of the town on all the games tomorrow. They're saying Tom Brady's hanging it up. I don't believe it till I hear it from him, but that's what they're saying. Oh my God, that was a terrible pass and a flag.
Holding offense.
How did they manage to get a holding on a play that immediately got flung out of the back of the sideline there? Beats me. What's going on, Cobra? How you doing today? How's the weekend treating you? 2nd and 19. C.J. Smith. That's been the only good offensive plays that Chad Freeman has had, is a couple of catches he's had. But running game has not been there. 3rd and 12 on this Tom Brady potential retirement day. January 29th, the day of the Royal Rumble. Almost intercepted. It was thrown right in between two Ute defenders. Falls incomplete, and we keep the shutout going. Our record for shutouts, there's 2 separate seasons. We had 4 shutouts in a year. I think we're getting pretty close to that record here this season. This defense has been solid. They had the two rough games. One was the TCU game. Besides that, they have been pretty lights out as far as not allowing touchdowns. A lot of the touchdowns you will see, like if you look at the scores for this season, were offensive touchdowns, like pick sixes or fumbles or stuff like that, but not a lot of defensive touchdowns given up by our squad here. That's gonna be the end of quarter number 3. Let's check Twitter again real quick, see if there's any more official news from the man himself. The Kraft family now weighing in. Robert Kraft and the Patriots. Yeah, Adam Schefter seems pretty convinced. Still no official word from Tom yet. Nothing from the... Let's see what the Buccaneers are saying. I haven't even... Like, the Patriots said on their Twitter page officially. But let's see the Buccaneers. I have not seen... It is Gasparilla Day in Tampa. The last thing they tweeted was 5 hours ago. Good to be back. Happy Gasparilla, Tampa. So there you go. Tampa Bay not saying anything about it. Nothing on the Bucs end. And I've only seen one denial so far from a Bucs report, or from a NFL beat writer that said that Arians hadn't said anything yet. Or that Arians commented. According to him, Bruce Arians commented and said, ain't nothing official yet. To give to Bradford. So yeah, what a day. What a... Second down and 11 for Cross. Dumps off to Bradford.
Gain of 4 yards. That makes it 3rd and 7.
What do we got to do here? 3rd and 7. Upset alert. Nebraska. Man, that really is an upset if they don't get by Kansas. Kansas is 0-8. They might be getting ready to knock off the Huskers here. Wide open is Cross. That was almost a collision between Cross and Jermaine Cox. Or between Smith and Jermaine Cox. But Cross just able to get it in there to Zach Smith to move the chains here. Cross going deep, knocked away. I believe that was Terry Tyler. If I got my numbers right. I need a spotter. I need a spotter out there. Cross going deep again. Newton makes the catch. Well covered. What a beautiful pass by Andrew Cross to drop that one right in there. Jeff James, who's had a couple of big plays in this one, was there but not able to knock that one away. And one more touchdown is going to just about seal it, you have to believe, for number 1. And Bradford trying to get outside. He was slown up by Tommy Douglas. And then Terrence Mendoza made the final stop. Can we stop these red zone woes? How can we scorn the red zone? That's going to be the teams when we get into championship play. That's going to be things these teams are going to be leaning in heavily on. And again, that hit Rusty Harris right in the hands. No answers for Utah getting into the end zone here. Red zone has been our issue, that is for sure. That time, it works out to perfection. Bill Bradford, touchdown. And barring some kind of Tom Brady-like comeback, this should do it and send us to 9-0 and hopefully another shutout win. We'll get a studio update, and Texas beats Baylor, so Texas moves to 10-0. We're knocking on 9-0's door. It is all heating up for a Utah-Texas showdown in the Big 12 championship game. Number 1 and number 2. Has that ever happened before? I guess the closest we got was that year that Michigan and Ohio State were both 1 and 2, but it wasn't the championship game. It was the regular season finale. But it's all setting up for that unless somebody slips. C.J. Smith trying to avoid the shutout here. The give to Freeman, and that's it for him.
Loss of 3 yards on the play. That brings up 2nd and 13.
Second and 13. Coach Adamas says, watch out for the draw. Well, we'll try that. We'll try to watch out for the draw. We got some movement from Missouri. False start. Any Missouri alums out there, what do you think? Do you prefer? For me, as a non-Missouri alum, so you know I told you before, I'm a sucker for the italicized numbers. I was a big Chicago Rush fan back in the day, so I like whenever the italicized numbers are out there. I like these uniforms the best, man. I think those helmets, that should just be their helmets full time. But maybe Mizzou alum feel a little differently. Alum or fans. You could be a fan of team and not have gone there. I like Eastern Washington. Never gone there. Oklahoma dropping 51 on North Texas. Old Dominion cruising to a big win as well. USF, they could be coming in on a playoff hunt. And you know, the national championship game, it's often played in Tampa. We did Las Vegas for the first season. I don't remember where we did it last year. We have to check our notes on Patreon, but yeah, that would be USF could maybe get there the year that it might be in Tampa. Who knows? Smith taking off again as we can't figure out any answer for that. That's been the one thing we haven't been able to stop for some reason, is his rushing attack. Oh my god, just give me a freaking QB spy play. There we go. Why can I not find this? Why am I struggling to find this? Somebody help me. Adjust cover doesn't do anything. Hot route. QB spy. Good lord, it's under hot route. Well, there you go. Well, it only took us to the middle of the game to figure that out. And C.J. Smith, one too many carries. He's going to get banged up, so he's going to come out. So you got to do this. Oh, crap. You got nope. Hot route, and I didn't have time. Backup quarterback in there. It is Fred George. He's a sophomore. And the bright light's too much as he hacks that one out of bounds. Yes, Smith done for the day. George is going to try to run it, and he's going to end up getting QB sacked. Down he goes. And now all we got to do is run the clock out. So let's make some adjustments here. Let's go conservative. And let's get out of here with another win as we go to 9-0 on the season. Looking for our 4th national championship.
That makes it 2nd and 6.
Can we pull it off? That'd be more than I won at Troy. I've already got more than my Troy. I only won 2 at Troy. I went to 3 of them. Lost to Air Force in the first one, and then beat TCU, and then beat Air Force. The service academies are always good in these games. It was Air Force in NCAA 12 that was really good. And in these games, it's been Navy and Army that's always been, like, deep into the national championship run. Well, 3 consecutive runs, and Mizzou stops that, so they will get the ball back. They'll have just under a minute 15. Kansas State's up next, and we're bringing that game to you. What a punt. Did that go out? I think it did the way they're highlighting our punter here. Oh, come on. But yeah, we got Kansas State up next, a young Kansas State team. They have an injured starting quarterback as well, and their two backups are both redshirt freshmen. So unless the starting quarterback is recovered by this time next week, it's going to be us teeing off on a freshman. And speaking of backup quarterbacks, Fred George comes in, and his couple of outings have been about as successful as backup quarterbacks outings can be. And we are going to come in here and shut out a 6-2 squad on their home turf. The most successful team of all our seasons that we played. We got the Denver Broncos, the Diamondbacks, which are close to blowing their playoff chances, and the Red Wings. And this one has been the most successful. That'll do it. That'll be the final play. We got to run. Game over, and Utah can successfully move to 9-0. Another shutout. We're going to check to see at the scores how many shutouts this has been on the year. We've had a bunch of them.
And the Tigers. Nothing. Thank you for attending today's ball game. Please drive home safely.
We'll take some final looks at the highlights here. And we'll do one more final Twitter check. Not final one, but now Gronk is trending. Yeah, Gronk's done, I think, if Brady's not playing. All right, let's get out of here for this game. We got one more game. We're not done yet. It's Tom Brady retirement chatter. We are not done with it yet. Look at that. That's a great picture. Maybe that'll be the thumbnail. That's a fantastic picture. Shutout win. What can you say? Our Utes. And we got Kansas State next. This is like the day when Jordan retired, man. I mean, he did it twice, right? 3 times, technically. Let's listen to this.
About that. I mean, she's basically, yeah, and you know, it sounds like Giselle has been pushing for retirement for some time, and I don't even think she's really been shy about that. I mean, she's basically said publicly that she wished he would retire, and I think if you're Tom Brady,
Ohio State lost, man.
When this started coming out, I would say about a couple weeks ago that Brady may retire, that he was considering what was he going to do. All of that, you know, people would ask, why would he retire? He's still healthy, he's still good. And I kept thinking, why would he not retire? Like, seriously, like, he's healthy, he's 44 years old, he's won 7 Super Bowls, he has plenty of money and has a great life to go back to. At some point, isn't enough? And this seemed to be enough. And I think for Tom Brady, you know, his trip to Tampa worked out great. Won a Super Bowl. Obviously, it did not go this year as he has hoped. A perfect time to step away with plenty of other opportunities. He's got a clothing line. He's got a production company that he's heavily involved in. Tom Brady will not be bored in retirement, but he will be in retirement.
My goodness. Well, there you go. That's Boy, there's a lot of Blaine Gabbert chatter now, too. Is he really going to be the next in line? So far, nothing from the Bucks, nothing from Arians. It's just been the normal, the talking heads so far. All right, we got Kansas State next. We shift back to college football world here. So we'll see. Paul Dickerson is their starting quarterback, but he was injured when we checked before the Missouri game. If he's still out, they got 2 redshirt freshman quarterbacks that they're going to be leaning on. Which could be dangerous for them. Great for us. So we'll see here. Let's look at our scores. I mean, everyone expecting this to be in our favor. And there you can see that's our 3rd shutout on the year. So we could be getting close to our record. But we got Kansas next, which that could be ugly. Or if they play like they did against Nebraska, it could be ugly for us. But, I mean, just see every step of the way. I mean, we've had single digits in 5 games here. The TCU game, like we said, was one of our worst. And in the BYU game, we let up some points. I don't even remember Nebraska. I'd have to go back and look. I want to say Nebraska scored late. Touchdown their game. But I think I'd have to go and recap. I don't remember if those were touchdowns or not. I remember some of those being... Let's look. We got the time, right? Scores and schedule. We can figure this out. See how many touchdowns our defense has actually given up on the year. So none there. So they got 1 rushing touchdown there. So 1 touchdown. Oh, gee. Oh, here we go. So I can just go from here. Perfect. Look at that. Utah score. Utah State went right down and got that first touchdown of the game. And then we shellacked them from here on out. So 1 touchdown that we gave up there. Two touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. So that's 4 touchdowns in total. Five, 6, 7. I thought we had given up a handful of, like, other way touchdowns, but... There we go. So interception, return, touchdown. And then we shut them out the rest of the way. So that's what I was thinking. Like, I remember there was, like, a game or two in there where it was, like, even though they scored a touchdown, it wasn't on our defense. So we've given up 8 touchdowns on the year. So 1 touchdown here, 3 here, 3 here, and 1 here. That's a total of 8 touchdowns. And we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games where we didn't allow a touchdown to be scored. That's insane. That's pretty good for defense there. So... And to think, we didn't give up that opening drive touchdown, and if we didn't give up that field goal, we'd have a whole lot more shutouts on the board. But let's get into it. We got Kansas State. It's a primetime game. Then we got Kansas, and then the big rivalry, Colorado. And then we'll be on to the conference championship. So we're getting down to it. We'll see who Kansas State sends out there. We're going to go with the same unis as we did the week before. We're not going to mess with a good thing. We're going to keep it going. And for Kansas State, I mean, I don't think they have any other options, but they got the beautiful, what's the difference between, ooh, I like the K-State on those. Let's see. I like the shoulder stripes there. But I like K-State. So we're going to go with those. But the purple and silver has always looked good to me for Kansas State. They got a great look. Always liked it. Underrated look, the purple and silver. So here we go. Those are looking like Street Fighter. Remember I was saying with Street Fighter I was having a hard time doing combos? That's because that's what all the combos look like. You have to spin the joystick around, and it's quite the task. Not a good offense for Kansas State, and this, I would almost be ashamed if we did allow a touchdown. 105 everywhere. They are potentially going to be starting a redshirt freshman quarterback against this top-ranked defense. This should be going in our favor. Oh, we have a statement from Tom Brady's agent, Don Yee. Here's the official statement. I understand the advanced speculation about Tom's future. Without getting into the accuracy or inaccuracy of what's being reported, Tom will be the only person to express his plans with complete accuracy. He knows the realities of the football business and the planning calendar as well as anybody, so that should be soon. So no confirmation there. Mike Evans on the Bucks said, "Thanks for everything, big bro. It was an honor." That's the first person on the Tampa side. AJ Brown. He is AJ Brown is, what position does he play on the Titans? He's a receiver, I believe. I truly believe Tom Brady isn't done playing football. The urge to want it more is going to drive him insane. What's next for me is all so what's next for me is all you know. I think he will relax for a few days or week, but his mind as an ultimate competitor will speak to him again. When you accomplish so much over and over, blah, 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 blah. He will be back, in my opinion, says A.J. Brown of the Titans. So, it's still, there's people that don't want to believe this, man. I'm one of them. So, it's going to be interesting as it continues. I still don't believe it until I hear it officially from him. Maybe this is his way of, maybe he's going to pull a Brett Favre on us. Maybe this is his way of, well, it's cold here in Manhattan. Manhattan, Kansas. Maybe this is his way of getting off the Bucks. Like, remember when Brett Favre went to the Jets for a year? And then he like retired and then he went to Minnesota. Here we go. Who is quarterbacking for Kansas State? We got number 14, and that is indeed redshirt freshman Alex Bolin. So the redshirt freshman is indeed in. Paul Dickerson, the starting quarterback, the junior, out, which makes it even more of an advantage for Utah. And what a run we've had since coming to the Big 12. I mean, we dominated the Pac-14 for years. Come to the Big 12, knew it was a big adjustment. That should have been a pick six. But we had, we've had some rocky games. We've been beat up by Nebraska. Texas hasn't been easy. It's all lining up for this game against Texas, which is not going to be an easy game. But this is our third year in the Big 12. Jailbreak screen did not work out. Bolin thrown down by Lee Anderson. And I think that if you guys are fans of blowouts, it's going to be this kind of a game. So keep this one entertaining. Join us in the chat to keep this one going. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because, every time we say this, I also, look at this. Okay, see, we almost blew it. We had our first national championship season, our second year, and the next season we lost to Old Dominion. So anything could happen here. It is not nothing is safe Nothing is sacred in college football. Anything could happen. See on the screen pass blown up by Ben Ryan of K-State. Second and 15. Got to watch these scores. Penn State in the college football playoff talks. And another incomplete pass. That one broken up by Sean Taylor, a sophomore, a young Kansas State team. And they could be forcing a punt very soon here for Utah. Cross is going to put it picture perfect. If that was Madden, that would have been an incompletion. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that play in Madden where the receiver drops the football. That one was hung on, though, by Newton. And that could not have been placed any better by Andrew Cross. That was a fantastic throw. So we'll take that all day. Cross is going to be flushed out, and he's got the whole left side of the field. That will be, I believe, his first rushing touchdown of the year. So touchdown Utah, striking early. Extra point is good. Oklahoma surviving Baylor.
The Utah Utes is lined up for the kickoff. Walker to return.
And McPherson boots this one away to give K-State their next opportunity. You're going to have to wonder, too. I mean, it's #1 in the nation coming to your stadium. How long are the fans going to stay at this game if it's this cold and your team's starting to get blown out? The fans are going to be dipping out of this game soon. Welcome to our new folks. LeBron James is here. Welcome on this Tom Brady retirement day as Alex Bolin is going to get sacked once again.
That brings up 2nd and 13.
Jamie Brooks making the sack on Bolin. #1 in the nation, LeBron going up against a redshirt freshman and Alex Bolin. And Bolin is going to continue to try to make anything happen. And it is, A.J. Hill with the stop. They have not had any plays in the positive yet, have Kansas State. I'm doing good, LeBron. Thank you for asking. It's been interesting, the weekend. I was not expecting this Tom Brady news to drop. As Bolin's going to get sacked. He did not see that coming. There was Trey Bonner. Yeah, it's we kind of, which you should never do as a team, stick the pitchfork in your opponent early on. But the way everything was lined up, redshirt freshman quarterback and terrible offense. It was going, we might have another 87-0 game on our hands. But yeah, it's been good weekend so far. Got caught up on SmackDown and Impact this morning, and just got some YouTube done, did a little Ring Fit, playing college football now. We got the Royal Rumble tonight. Are you getting hyped for the Rumble? Are you going to be watching that? The give to Bill Bradford. Everyone, follow me. Listen to LeBron, man. Yeah, so it's going to be a big night. It's going to be a fun night. And then tomorrow I'll probably go over to the old folks' house, watch some of the championship games. So it'll be good. I am going to be watching the Rumble, yes. I am very hyped and excited. Always one of the favorite fan pay-per-views of the year. Touchdown, Utah. And quickly, it's 14-0. The way this is going, LeBron, it's going to be, unless we slip up, we got 0-9 Kansas next, and then we got Colorado at the end of the year. Texas is 10-0. We're 9-0. It could very well be 12-0 against 12-0 in the Big 12 championship game, which that's never happened in a conference championship. Yeah, who you got, LeBron? Are you going for Seth, or are you going for Roman? Now, I was trying to look up, and maybe you can tell me. At the end of SmackDown, Seth's big thing is, he said Roman's never beat him. I find that hard to believe, and I looked up on Cage Match all the matches of Roman and Seth, but they didn't have the win-loss records on there. It was just like Feltzer ratings. So Roman, he never loses a match. That's right. That's right. It will be good, interesting, but you know, Seth, he's beaten Brock before. So Seth Rollins can conquer the big monsters. Can be done. Bowl in. Incomplete for Kansas State. That would have been their first positive yards of the game. It was dropped by Travis Hardy, a sophomore. As we said, a lot of young players on this team. We're going to bring the heat on them. It is offensively not been good for Kansas State, as expected. And here comes Bolin. He is able to get the ball away. He avoids the sack. That is the best offensive output of the Wildcats here today. And it still was not enough. So they're going to be punting this one away. And you have to imagine LeBron, the fans are going to be heading out of this stadium pretty quickly if it's this cold and their team is playing this poorly. Priority score alert. USF, they are going to be making an interesting case if they stay at number 5 for the college football playoff. In Utah and Texas, if we both end up 12-0 and play in the conference championship, USF might make a little fuss if they remain at that number 5 spot and one of us loses the week before the college football playoffs. They might make the fuss that, hey, we should be in the college football playoff, not one of these teams that just lost. I don't know what USF's record is. I'll have to double check. But Bill Bradford's going to run for 13 yards there. What other matches, LeBron, are you looking forward to at the Rumble tonight? We got the 2 Rumble matches, of course, which, I mean, that's the name of the show. Everyone's going to be looking forward to that. But we got Brock and Lashley for the first time. It's been like a dream match for years. Those two colliding. We got Becky, big-time Beck. She always has good matches at the Rumble. Her matches with Asuka in the past at the Rumble. She's got Dewdrop tonight. Charlotte Flair's entering the Royal Rumble. The first time a women's champion will be entering the Royal Rumble. Cross. Incomplete. Trying to find Zach Smith. Second and 10 for the Utes. Good catch by Odom, and Odom is going to somehow stay on his feet and get the first down.
That makes it first and 10.
This is one of the most one-sided college football games I ever watched. And many people might not even know it because I'm a Boise fan, so I remember. But it was the 2011 season. It was the year after the Fiesta Bowl win against TCU. It was the Nevada, famous Nevada season. They played at Idaho. And that's you can, if you type Kellen Moore into your GIF machine on your text messages, you'll get the Kellen Moore gun, where he did that after they went up by 28. If you find that game on YouTube, and I'm sure it's out there, Boise State, Idaho, 2011, that is one of the most one-sided games I ever saw. This might match it. Oh, how about that? Leo Buchanan swatted that one away. You know what? We're going to go for it. We're not fooling with this. We're gonna go for it. If we don't make it, that's how much confidence I have in our defense. We want these touchdowns. And it is going to be a touchdown on 4th down. Bill Bradford in for Utah. And the Utes continuing this run.
The kick is good.
We got for the first time chatter, Tristan McDimes. What's up, Tristan? And thank you for the follow. Glad to have you here. How you doing, my friend? Tristan Mack in the house. How you doing on this Saturday? You got any big sports you're watching today? Any hockey? Any basketball? You gonna be watching the Royal Rumble tonight? Right now, you're tuning into some college football, which has kind of been a blowout so far. We're #1 in the nation on our 19th year, and Kansas State, their starting quarterback is injured. It was injured coming into this game, so they got a redshirt freshman at quarterback, and it's been about as one-sided as you can imagine. Basketball, what basketball are you looking forward to? The only basketball game I got is on the Nintendo Switch. I've debated about doing basketball on the channel because I'm never good at basketball. But maybe if I want to tempt it one day, I can do one of the My Careers and just control one player. I might do a lot better. But I'm always terrible at playing basketball. Who's your favorite basketball team? And that is going to be the first down of the game for Kansas State. And Nuggets, Tristan Mack is a Nuggets guy. Are you a Denver sports fan or just a Nuggets fan? Because if you like Denver sports, you'll have to tune in when we play our Madden franchise, because we're coaching the Denver Broncos currently with Tom Brady's son, Tom Jr., at the helm for the Denver Broncos. So you're a big Denver sports fan. Well, that's awesome. Well, definitely tune in. We got plenty of Broncos content. You can watch the old streams over at our YouTube page, but definitely tune into that. What do you think about the big news? Look at the total yards. That's terrible. What do you think about the big news, the Tom Brady? Do you believe it? So far, the Bucks haven't said anything. Bruce Arians hasn't said anything. The agent of Tom Brady made a statement not confirming it, but it's been the big talk of, you know, it broke. We are streaming the game against Missouri, and that news just literally broke in the middle of our stream. So we broke it right here. And yes, because he said that, and I believe Tom. Well, Tom hasn't said anything yet. It's only been reported. Adam Schefter's been the only one. Tom hasn't officially come out and said anything yet as far as retirement goes. The only talk he's had about that is what he said on his podcast this past week. So everyone's hopefully going to get an answer before him tonight. I know everyone's kind of waiting to hear. You do believe Adam Schefter. Well, he has definitely been a good source. Bolin is, I don't think poor Bolin's going to be the next Tom Brady. Bryant Harper with the sack on Bolin, and that was one of the better drives for K-State here today, but once again, they're going to be punting away, and it's, what do you expect, Tristan Mack? It's a team with a redshirt freshman quarterback trying to go up against the #1 defense in the nation. And things could get even worse right here for Kansas State, as Jason Newton's going to run that one back into K-State territory. Yes, Tristan Mack, please come play for Bolden. You should get recruited to Kansas State, because they definitely need all the help they can get in this one. Yeah. If we score again, we're going to have more points in this game than we had in the last game, and we're still going to be in the first quarter, as Andrew Cross will run it and step out of bounds with 7 seconds to go in the first. So we're going to try for it. We're going to take a shot at the end zone, and if we score, that 28 will give us more than we scored against Missouri in the entire game. Oh, wait, the clock's running. We went out of bounds. Come on. Oh, boo. Can't believe that. They ran the clock on us. We got another update here from the score. Brady called it quits. Quarterback reportedly weighed family and health factors along with potential Bucks roster overhaul. Well, we read that already. They're way behind. So we reported that before the score did. Yeah, Tristan Max said, dang it. That's right, we got robbed on that one. Gonna toss it short out to Jermaine Cox for 14. Got to keep an eye. I think Texas might be on a bye week this week. I haven't seen Texas at the bottom of the screen yet, but they are 10-0, and we're going for 10-0, so you had to imagine that they were going to have a bye at some point. And, boy, nobody is open on that one, so Cross just heaves that one out of bounds, throwing it away. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Utes. Glad to have you here, Tristan. We got a good group. We usually have Cobra that pops in about once a stream. We had LeBron James fan, but I think he already dipped. But when those guys are here, we got a pretty solid group. I can make you a recruit in that. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I'm looking at doing it for next season. That was on our Patreon. That was one of our Patreon options originally for the Mega Fan, was that you could put yourself in the game. But the more I thought about it, I didn't know how feasible that was going to be, because it's hard to keep a player on a team and then they can end up being on another team and someone's paying money. So then I just changed it to where you can request a stream once a month as the super fan tier on Patreon. And Bradford into the end zone for another touchdown. And with the extra point, we'll have more points in 1 quarter and 30 seconds than we scored against all of last week against Missouri. Extra point booted through by Travis Richardson, and it's 28-0 Utah. Score update here. Penn State, undefeated, college football playoff number 3. They're reeling. It's going to be really interesting. Who's going to get those college football playoff spots? It's Utah and Texas, undefeated. Eventually, one of us is going to lose because we got to play each other in the Big 12 championship. You got Penn State undefeated. I don't know USF's record, but it's going to be an interesting fight for these last couple of spots as we get closer to the college football playoff. Bolin's just going to hang on to it way too long, and he's going to end up getting sacked by James Kelly. How many times have we taken Bolin down today? Quite a few. At least 3 or 4. And Bolin, lots of time this time, and he will find an open receiver, James Walker, on the sideline. That's what I'm saying, Tristan. He's got, he's hanging into the pocket. He's seeing bright lights for the first time in his career, and he does tend to hang on to the ball quite a bit. Every time we brought the blitz, though, we've had success. So we're going to try it again here. Here comes everybody. And that time he is able to get it away. Fred Brooks for 3. That's Brooks's 3rd catch of this game. 2nd down and 7. Bolin, he has, he's up to 8 of 12, which is decent, but the yards aren't there, and he's definitely been knocked around quite a bit. And Bolin way off target there. He was looking for Robert Edmonds, and Edmonds wasn't even in the neighborhood of that pass. So we're going to blitz him again. It is going to be 3rd and 7. I realize that they are going to spread everybody out, but we're going to bring the blitz because we got that confident. That Tristan said, Jesus, and like Botchamania out there. That will be a 1st down to Robert Edmonds. Poor coverage on our part by Trey Bonner, who was just letting Edmonds get free. So another 1st down by Kansas State. The Cats are moving it. Next week can get even more rough, Tristan. I'm gonna try to play tomorrow, but with the championships games, the NFC AFC championship game starting at 3 p.m. tomorrow, I don't know if I'll be able to get on, because I know watching that'll take most of the day. But the game after this one is against 0-9 Kansas. So that could be even worse than this game. But Bolin, oh man, Bolin watches the pass hit Robert Edmonds in the hands and fall incomplete. As that might have even been a touchdown the way Edmonds was heading for the end zone. And that was a big oof play indeed, as it was dropped, flat out dropped. Oh, should have been intercepted by Lyles again, looking for Robert Edmonds. So 3rd and 10 here for Kansas State. We're trying to get that shutout record. We got 3 shutouts on the year. If we get 2 more, we'll break our own record. And quarterback sack. Bolin drilled from behind by Lee Anderson. Another sack from Anderson. Anderson's only a sophomore. So, yeah, Edmond did have a tutty. And he had a droppy, too. So, another punt. Now you hear the fans booing now. Now they're booing. Kevin Gibbs, a freshman punter, on to boot this one away. And give Utah the ball back on offense. Newton ends up letting that one go, and it will hit into the end zone. So, there you go. And right about now is probably where, if this was authentic, you'd be seeing a lot of that purple heading out of here. We'll just pretend those are seats. All the purple are seats, and the white shirts are the fans, because everyone's leaving this one. A cold day in Manhattan, Kansas. They're not sitting around at 9 o'clock at night outdoors watching this mess. That's for sure. It did take them a while to start booing, Tristan. Yes, they had confidence in their team, but after that touchdown drive fell short, that was it. Then they were throwing their hands up in disgust. Even, Al Michaels comes to every one of our games. Al Michaels is always standing up in the crowd. The do you believe in miracles moment out there. Al Michaels even had to leave this one in disgust. He couldn't believe it. How terrible that Kansas State's been in this one. Delayed handoff to Bill Bradford, and Bradford getting to the outside for 16. What a pickup by Bradford. Have you played any of the, we streamed the new Arceus Legends game. Do you play Pokemon at all, Tristan? We played that yesterday on the channel because that came out. We played a little Street Fighter as well yesterday on the channel. Street Fighter's a sport, right? I mean, fighting. I'll give to Bradford. But definitely check us out on YouTube if you want to see any of our old streams. They're all up at YouTube. TB Sports on YouTube. The link is here in the About Me section on Twitch, where all the links are. Second down and 8. Cross is going to be intercepted. Boy, he was trying to fit that one in there to Jermaine Cox. And ended up getting picked off by Avery Anderson, a linebacker. That's been one of the issues all season, all year with Andrew Cross, is underthrowing passes. And that was another one right there. So back to Kansas State, but it's still 28-0, so we're still doing all right. Bolin hanging on to it, and he forces one in. And Walker, James Walker, who is one of the few seniors on this Kansas State squad, cannot hang on to the football. Yeah, that is true, Tristan. He threw it right to the wrong player, didn't he? Threw it to the wrong man. Bolin almost got sacked again. And Sims for 4. So 3rd and 6 once again here for Kansas State. Still, I mean, if you ignore everything else, the completion percentage isn't bad for Bolin, but he just barely gets that one away. That probably should have been a sack, but Bolin was barely able to get rid of it, so a heads-up play by him, but now they're going to have to send Kevin Gibbs out for another punt here. All right, I gotta head to my football camp. See you later, man. Yes, thank you so much. Please definitely keep joining us. We love having the new folks here. Love to have you part of the group. Have a good time at football camp. Let us know how it went, too. Join us in another stream and let us know how football camp went. Take care, my friend, and glad to have you. That was Tristan Mack, the dime. Tristan Dimes, the man. He's me grinding it out, so glad to have Tristan aboard here as part of TB Sports. Cross is going to get sacked. A lack of protection, a lack of blocking by Freddie Ward. Yeah, Freddie Ward didn't even put a paw on Ben Ryan. Ryan blew right past, so the offense starting to stall out just a little bit now for Utah. See you later, Tristan. That's Tristan Mack, everyone. Out of the pistol. Play fake. Cross. Just heaves it down. And what a throw, but Zach Smith does not hang on to it. So it'll be 3rd and long for the Utes. I don't know if we're getting to 87 at this rate. It's kind of hopeful, but... Cross just barely gets rid of it, and Smith incomplete. So the last 2 offensive possessions, not good for Utah. Offense has definitely been our weak point all year. Defense is good. Definitely defense is good. What did we count with? 8 touchdowns they've given up all year. 5 games where they haven't allowed a touchdown on defense, which is fantastic when you consider this is game number 10. So half the time our defense isn't allowing a touchdown on the board. And this could be number 6. And Bolin kind of hesitated and then eventually pulled the trigger and got it there to Fred Brooks. Second and 5 for the Wildcats of K-State. And Bolin again. Walker's had a couple of nice passes. We got to get out there. It's Trey Bonner. We got to get him a little bit better coverage. There's a couple times that he's allowed the big pass there. Bolin, he's starting to get more confidence. The beginning of the game was very shaky. But Bolin is starting to get a little more confident the longer, he has time to step into the pocket and make a play. First and 10, empty set here for Bolin. And Bolin will find a wide open Walker. Again, 5th catch of the day for Walker. I want to say 4th or 5th for him. And K-State, they might be moving for their first points here. Give credit where credit's due to the redshirt freshman. Another completed pass. Now all of a sudden we can't slow these guys down at all. Nothing we can do to slow them down. Second and 3, Bolin, pocket collapsing. They're going to call that a fumble. I thought maybe that was incomplete. They are going to say a fumble, though. No review, so there you go. First and 10. Can we get the offense going here? Oh my God, what the heck is this offense? We have an injury. Richards, he'll be all right. Let's get back to running. Well, we don't really have time to run the ball.
Man left, man left. Four down. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Let's go. Wide 80.
Cross. He's a couple of times tried to go deep to Smith, and again it's going to fall incomplete. They cannot get on the same page. Third down and long. Is it going to be another punt situation? And it is. Underthrown, batted away by Mike Jenkins. And Utah will punt this one away for the 3rd time. A dominant offensive performance has gone stagnant the last 3 drives in the cold here in Manhattan, Kansas. They're going to whistle that one dead with 1:11 on the clock. First and 10, Bowl in. Man, we'd make a couple more plays. I mean, we still got them reeling, but we can't be sleeping either. We gotta put the pedal to the metal, as they say, the old expression. All right, knock that one away. Incomplete. Ben Jackson forced that one incomplete. So 3rd down and 10 for Kansas State. And once again, they're going to glitch out, and we'll take advantage of that. I don't know why that happens. That just started happening, like, recently. Maybe about 6 or 7 seasons ago, but yeah. But we'll take advantage when it happens. I did not realize, I'm looking at Tom Brady tweets, and I probably should have realized that because it was a sack, they're going to run the clock out. Oh, and I just dropped my controller. A pretty bad punt. It's going to be fumbled by Newton, and Newton is going to bring this one down to the 20, which could be bad for Utah because we can't score in the red zone. But we'll see if we can't finally score here and end our offensive drought. Incomplete to Cox. Only 8 completed passes for Andrew Cross. It's not good. I mean, he is not the reason this team is 9-0. I hate to say it. It's been more of the same, more rough moments. It's a shame, because if he was performing like his top recruiting, now that was a great pass. If he was performing like his top recruitment, it probably would be dominant performances up and down. 14 seconds to go here. The handoff to Bradford. Great blocking, and there's going to be 35 on the board. And Utah continuing to... We haven't had many primetime games. They're normally... All of our games seem to be always during the day. So a rare nighttime game here for our Utes. It's like the opposite. Whenever I watch a Boise game, it seems to always be at night. And we're going to get the ball to begin the second half as well. Keep Cox in the game. The handoff to John Sims. And that should take us to the end of the first half. And what was to be a much expected dominant performance here for the Utah Utes. And we'll try to keep that going. $35-0. See some highlights. We saw them all right. I say we leave them in. I mean, we got to get some more drives. They kind of slacked off a bit. We probably could have maybe let that one go out of bounds. We got a great kick returner. So we'll leave them in for 1-2 more drives, depending on how they score. The give to Bill Bradford. Good cut by Bradford. And if he had a little more speed, he probably could have taken that one to the house.
That makes it 1st and 10.
Four down. Mike 55, Mike 55. Ready, wide 80.
Quick pass out to Mr. John Perry.
Gain of 13 yards.
Jerome Perry. Why am I getting all... See, this is what happens. I'm trying to Twitter and do the game at the same time.
Green 19.
Cross. Underthrow again. Jermaine Cox was wide open.
The intended receiver on the play.
And Andrew Cross underthrows him. Come on, put some air under that, son.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Mike 55, Mike 55. Set, wide 80.
Cross. Oh, that one was on the money and not brought in by Cox. So not a great passing day for Andrew Cross here.
I don't even know why this team showed up. Hey, check right, check right. Ready, red 18. Ready.
And nobody was open, and Cross just has to dump it out. This is unfortunate offensively. McPherson will punt this one. It should head out at the 1. They're actually going to put it at the 1 this time. The Missouri game, they are. So this is a big safety opportunity. Knowing how our defense plays, we're bringing everyone. And they were able to somewhat get out of the back of their own end zone.
Gain of 2 yards. That makes it 2nd and 8.
If we get one play where Bolin just hangs on to it too long, we're going to make him pay.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Hey, one set, one set.
Look at this formation here. Oh, they're putting everyone. And and it's dropped. So we brought everyone. They tried to audible out of it and go with the quick pass, and it almost worked for them, except that there's a big drop. So 3rd and 8 for Kansas State here. There's going to be your safety. John Sims smacked down Wes Harper. There's your safety. And now I need one good drive from Utah, and we can start thinking about putting the backups in. Look at this. On the punt return for the safety, Newton is going to take it down to the 5-yard line. This is going to be a 9-point turnaround if we put it in the end zone based off of one safety. The give to Bradford, and he's in. No problem. 43-0 Utah. And this isn't the first dominant blowout we've had. God, we're going to have 2 shutouts on both of these games. Wouldn't that be something? All right, I still want one more offensive drive. Just because they've been slacking. That didn't count. Sean Taylor will take a knee. And yeah, that tells the story. The only thing even is the number of plays both teams have run. But besides that, it's been all #1 in the nation. And to think, in 1 week's time, we will play, and it's going to be intercepted. Ben Jackson picks it off. We got 0-9 Kansas up next, which this could be even worse. So Bolden, I'm not sure if it was a rough throw or he got hit by David Richards. But outmatched every step of the way has been the Wildcats here. The handoff to Bradford. I am glad we decided to stream this season. Like I said, I was going to hang it up after everything, after the great YouTube purge of 2021 happened. I was honestly just going to be like, all right, just wait for the new college football game to be over. But then I was like, I really got into a mood wanting to play college football again. I thought about starting over, like starting from scratch, just doing a new team for a couple years. But then, I don't know, I just wanted to see it out. I wanted to see this team out. I thought I was actually further along in the season than I was. I was only one game in when the great YouTube 2021 purge happened. But I'm glad we did, because this is a really good team, despite what might happen. I mean, obviously, when we play Texas, it could be not good. It can be a complete disaster, especially if our offense doesn't play well. However, just shy of the first down. However, I'm glad I was able to get this on tape for this dominating team. Trying to think back now. I remember we played Washington State in the Pac-14 championship the year Washington State was number 2. And we blew them out. I don't remember if we were ranked or not. I'm going to check the archives right now. I'm going on Patreon. TB Sports on Patreon. And I'm going to check the archives to see when we beat Washington State. Were we also undefeated? Touchdown, Bill Bradford. How many is that for Bradford? By the way, the national championship was in Florida last season. It was Oklahoma defeating Navy in the national championship. So again, all the archives for all those years, even though YouTube did away with it, I still write all this stuff down. You can check it out over on Patreon. All the archives, all the results, stats, and all that. We'll keep the defense in for one more possession, but I think we're going to pull everyone after this. So I'm looking at the year we played Washington State in the Pac-14 championship. Boy, the year we beat Texas for the national championship, we had a solid defense too. 14 points, 3 points, 0, 21, 6, 0, 13, 21, 7, 0, 6, 10, 14, 21. We didn't allow anyone to score more than 21 points. So, again, that's all on Patreon. I cannot find this Washington. Here it is, Washington State. We were undefeated, so that might have happened before then. So we would have been number 1 that year. And Washington State, I remember, was number 2, and we beat them. I'll just go through the scores. This was our second national championship season. This was our 12th season, and you can read all of this stats, all this old coverage over at Patreon. But here you go. Season 12, schedule, 14-0 record, number 1 final ranking. Win at Notre Dame, 31-17. Win at home against Bowling Green, 66-28. Win at BYU, 24-17. Win against Cal, 27-14, as Bolin's going to get sacked. Win at USC, 21-17. So a lot of tight games where he could have been beaten. Win against Tulane, 38-7. Win at Oregon, 35-14. Win against UCLA, 34-31. So another close game. Win at Arizona, 35-28. Win against Fresno State, 35-14. Win against Arizona State, 38-16. Win at Colorado, 31-20. And then we beat Washington State 72-21 in the Pac-14 championship. And then we went on to beat Army in the national championship game, 24-21. So that was a very, there were a lot of games where we easily could have been upended and taken out, but we were able to survive it. So there you go. As they say, anything can happen. The games were close. We We were able to get the national title that year. I'm going to start trying to wind the clock as we're getting to the latter part of this game. Some stats for you. Andre Brooks, our quarterback on the year. We had a split quarterback committee that season. Andre Brooks passed for 1,982 yards, 12 touchdowns, and he rushed for 4 touchdowns. And Sean Murphy threw for 895 and 8 touchdowns. Kevin Hayes, that was our big Heisman winning juggernaut of a running back. He rushed for 1,600 yards that season, 21 touchdowns. The year before that, he rushed for 1,800 yards and 23 touchdowns. So the complete stat book up at Patreon. And the year after, Kevin Hayes hung it up. We just kept going with Derek Jones, who rushed for 1,700 yards. Then we went to John Wright, who rushed for 1,300 yards. So we started to go down a little bit. We haven't had our great running back recruit that we've had in a long time. That used to always be a staple of the Utah Utes, was our running backs. They were always dominating. And Bill Bradford's been fine. And Aaron Price has been fine. But like you see here, Ryan Thompson, 800 yards rushing. Cornelius McCormick, 300 yards rushing. Like, that's a far and away from where we were from our dominant rushers that were rushing for nearly 2,000 yards a season. But let's go back to that national championship season, as this is what they do in real life. When there's a blowout game, you just fill it with this kind of stuff. We had Ryan Thomas, 837 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. Chris Lake, I don't know, Chris Lake was awesome, 810 yards receiving. And then some of these guys on defense, we talked about our being known for our defensive guys. We had Aaron Wilson, 8 tackles for loss. Jim McCoy, he had 5 tackles for loss. Pat Williams, 19 sacks. Stan Burton, 7 interceptions. Brandon Thompson, 10 tackles for loss. Antonio Kane, 19 tackles for loss, 13 sacks. Talk about a dominant defensive line. John Gray had 12 sacks as well. So there you go. Patreon TV Sports. And not only do you get the stat books on Patreon, you get the old content, the ones that we had saved. Not everything. None of the Utah stuff was saved, but we have all our old Troy stuff, which is good. But you can start seeing that old stuff on there, the old stat books. And that's where you can not only see that old stuff, so it's like all the bang for your buck, but you can also be a stream requester. So when it's your time as a super fan or mega fan, you can say, I want to see college football, I want to see Pokemon, I want to see this, and you can request it. So you get the power to request, and you get hours and hours. Right now we have over 600 hours of bonus content on Patreon, as well as the stat books, as well as the old WCW, ECW storylines. I mean, just all the content you can imagine we got over on Patreon, so check it out.
Good for a gain of 6 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 2.
There you go, 3rd and 2. As we now move into quarter number 4, and Aaron Price walks it in. A lot of rushing touchdowns here today, as Utah is going to get up to 57 with this pending extra point here. Kick is good. What's your favorite blowout in college football history? Is there one that you can... Because you often hear from fans, they say they'd rather have... I'm the same way. I would rather watch my team blow out someone every step of the way. Like, those Boise teams from 2010, 2011, where, like, you went into every game knowing that it was going to be 50-0. Those are so enjoyable versus the ones where the past couple years where you're sitting on the edge of your seat hoping they can just barely squeeze out a win at home. That pass way off target, but Patterson making the dive and the reception there. So you tell me, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the blowout? Do you prefer a close game. Do I have a favorite blowout? As a Broncos fan, I've seen a lot of Super Bowl blowouts. Not for my team, but against my team. I remember, I can't think of any good blowouts other than like Boise State that my teams have been involved in. I think about, as a Cardinals fan, we've been on the receiving end of course, everyone knows the famous game against the Seahawks. It was like 58-0. And they had the Super Bowl year with Kurt Warner. They had a game where they lost to, it was like Tennessee or New England or something, where it was like 50 to like some terrible blowout. First down. But we will try to get the regular season finished tomorrow. If not the entire regular season, we'll try to at least get one game played tomorrow because, again, it is Championship Sunday, AFC Championship, NFC Championship, and it's going to take up a good old majority of the time. Look at Penn State getting blown out. So that would put USF in the talks to be in the college football playoff. That would move them up into the top 4, which it's not uncommon for a team. I'm just going to call them the Big East. I hate the name the American, the AAC, the American. Like, ugh. I'm just going to call them the Big East. So that would make them part of the Big East. I'm officially changing it right now. They're called the Big East. And if I can change conferences when the new game comes out, I'm calling it the Big East. But for USF, it's not uncommon for Big East teams. That conference has been dominant the last couple of seasons with Navy, with Army, constantly going to national championship games. Army in the national championship for the first college football playoff against Georgia Tech. And then Navy last season going to the national championship and playing against Oklahoma. So the Big East has been there twice, and they could be looking to get in there again. So just because you see, like, wow, USF, are they going to do it? No, that's been a dominant conference. And as we were just talking about Patreon, you can see how dominant the Big East has been over at Patreon by checking out the Utah Utes stat book. I have no idea where Bolin was looking to go. I'm not sure if this was in the game plan for Kansas State to have their redshirt freshman quarterback throw the ball almost 40 times. That is not going to help that young man's cause there. Bolin will just heave it up. Probably should have been intercepted. So 4th and 5. I wonder if they were just going to try to get points on the board. Sometimes you'll often see teams go for the field goal just to get the points on the board. First down. We brought the blitz, and Bolin was able to get it. I'm going to say he's played, considering the score, the yards aren't great. Completion percentage isn't bad. Bolin's made some decent throws. And he might be taking our shutout away from us. Oh, there it is. There's the end of the shutout. Darn it. And you can't even put that, that's going to have to be one we remember, too, our tally of our dominant defense. That's not even one. This is the backup defense. So for our starting defense, it's still 3 touchdowns to TCU, 3 touchdowns to BYU, 1 touchdown to Arkansas, and 1 touchdown to not Nebraska, was the other team. There's 1 touchdown to one of the other. They're going to go for an onside kick here. But besides that, I mean, they touched the ball way before. Yeah, I was going to say, give me a flag or something.
Illegal touching.
Give me something. Yeah, illegal touching for sure.
Still first down.
But you can count the number of games on one hand that the starting defense has allowed a touchdown to happen. This would not be one of them. Statue of Liberty play up 58-7 for 4 yards.
That makes it 2nd and 6.
Got an upset alert coming through. Southern Miss getting taken to task. Hattiesburg moves into the Aggies.
Price on the carry. Call it a gain of 3 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Another upset alert coming through. Oh, it's the same. Oh, Southern Miss, they scored twice. 2 scores here on A&M. I debated when I went back to doing the big, the super conferences here. Texas A&M, do you accept them yet as an SEC team? Because you always, it feels so weird, when the team joins the new conference. Are they going to score again? Look at this upset alert. Oh, my God. Oh, it's Texas A&M. All the scoring happened, man. So I almost decided to put Texas A&M back in the Big 12. But ultimately, I didn't do that. I don't know. At some point, you just accept that the team, they fit in with the conference. I don't know how folks feel about Texas A&M yet. You still think of them. For me, Nebraska, I don't think of them as a Big 10 team. That's why I moved them back to the Big 12. To me, they're a Big 12 team. Where there's a whole boatload of scoring, and then it just ended A&M and Southern Miss. So, yeah, to me, Nebraska, Big 12, not Big 10. But Texas A&M, they've kind of, I guess, fit in as an SEC team, even though they haven't won a championship yet. Tom Smith. We're definitely have a big shakeup, though, in the college football playoff. We're doing score watching, and Ohio State putting that beat down on Kansas State. I'm seeing a lot of the same scores. Was this a Saturday game? Because I'm not seeing a big variety of scores. Is this a midweek game? You're seeing the same 5 or 6 scores coming at the bottom of the screen there. There's USF, so they're almost certainly going to move into the top 4. Now I'm starting to see the other scores pile up, so this should be the final play of the game. 58-7. That's our 200th win as well. Our coaching record, yeah, Coach Junior, because my name, TB Sports, was, I pretended that this coach is the son of the coach that we played with at Troy. So the Troy stuff, when we upload that to Patreon, that's the dad, and then this is the son. So that's why I'm not a junior in real life. That's just, what the heck?
Delay of game.
Oh my God! I thought there was enough time where I wasn't even paying attention. I thought we had time to just let it tick away. But yeah, I'm the son of the great coach at Troy that won the 2 national titles. The one that coached 1 year at Akron, 6 years as FAU offensive coordinator, 3 years as Ole Miss offensive coordinator, and then 15 years at Troy as head coach. There you go. Well, the son's outdone the old man again. 200 wins. I don't know. Should we name this Tom Brady Retires because of all the Tom Brady talk when we upload this to YouTube? Or should we name this Going for 200 Wins? Our coaching record, 200 wins on the year. Bill Bradford, 5 touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. So is that 6 total? He dominated while our offense struggled at times passing the ball. We got to get Andrew Cross. We kind of mentioned our frustrations that we had with Andrew Cross. I don't think we had any passing touchdowns in this game. They were all rushing touchdowns. Freshman year, you're starting to see a lot of them here sophomore year. The struggles to really get things moving on offense and the rough passes, that's what we were dealing with a lot freshman year. But we have a much more successful team here the sophomore season. That is for absolute sure. So there you go. Put it in the books. Save some highlights. And we are moving to 10-0. Utah and Texas, 2 teams, the same conference, 10-0. And while this loading screen is happening, I'm going to read our history of our games with the Texas Longhorns, compliments of Patreon. So we joined the Big 12 3 seasons ago. We played Texas in the national championship way back in season 14. We beat them 38-21. Then the next year, or I should say 2 years from then, Texas went on negative 41 rushing yards because all the sack. Texas went on to win the national championship against Miami in the ACC. Then we joined the Big 12 officially in season 17. We played Texas for the first time since the national championship at Texas. We lost 33-28. Then we bounced back and beat Texas in the Big 12 championship game 42-18. So that was big business right there. We got Kansas next, which that game is going to be very, very, very ugly. The following season, which was last season, we played Texas and lost 40-8. So we are 2-2 against Texas. We have never beaten Texas in the regular season. However, we are undefeated against Texas in the postseason, having beaten them for the national championship and having beaten them for a Big 12 championship. The college football playoff this year, it will be the Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl combination of games. So if we get in, it's most likely going to be the Fiesta Bowl for us due to proximity's sake. The first college football playoff, this is all stuff I'm reading off at Patreon, by the way. It was the Rose Bowl, Utah and Army. It was Georgia at Georgia Tech, pardon me, at 13-0, number 1. Army 13-0, number 2. Utah 12-1, and Wisconsin 11-2. And that was the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl games. And then last season, the college football playoff was number 1, Miami, Ohio. That's right, Miami, Ohio, the only undefeated team in the nation at 12-0. The game ranked them number 1, not me. They were number 1. Number 2 was Navy at 12-1. Miami of Florida, 12-1, and Oklahoma at 12-1. And it was Army, or I should say Navy and Miami in the Orange Bowl, and Miami, Ohio, and Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl. So this upcoming one will be the Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl. So should we win out and get to the college football playoff, we would be the top seed, obviously, and it would be the Fiesta Bowl for us. If we lose and somehow still have a good enough record to get into the college football playoff, would it be a rematch with Texas? I don't know, but Texas, I assume Texas would go to the Fiesta Bowl too, due to proximity, or would they be closer to the Peach Bowl? I don't know, but we have 10-0 against 0-10 the next time we stream. That could be even uglier than the Kansas State game. Not good quarterback play for them. Yeah, that's going to be really rough. Let's wrap this one up by looking at some standings. We're going to have bowl projections too. Let's go through those, which we're going to see for the first time. And that, of course, is going to be all mixed up because we're going to do the mod that gives us the college football playoff. So the bowl projections isn't actually accurate because we're going to move some stuff around. Hey, look at this. Bill Bradford is all of a sudden a Heisman candidate. Where did that come from? He hadn't been in the Heisman discussion all year. Where is he on the... He's 47th in the nation. Is it just because of all his rushing touchdowns? How in the world is he in the discussion? My only guess would just be maybe the amount of rushing touchdowns he's had. He is leading the nation in rushing touchdowns at 19. But man, I mean, you got players that are... Look at this. You have players that Brian Meyer the most professional wrestler. He's got almost 2,000 yards 10 weeks into the season. How is he not in the Heisman discussion? Is he even on the Heisman list? That's the most bizarre thing to me. More breaking news here. Minnesota, reportedly, the Minnesota Vikings, set to interview Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh for their head coaching position. Oh my God, we're just getting breaking news left and right. There's Meyer there. I don't know how he's that far down the list. He's got 1,000 more yards rushing than our guy does. But let's look at the rankings real quick. Then we'll look at the bowl projections, and then we'll get out of here for the Royal Rumble. So Utah is at number 1, and it actually lines up perfectly. Wow, look at this interesting Final Four here. We have another breaking news coming in here. A former USC quarterback is joining Lane Kiffin for 2022 season. Dart is committing to Ole Miss from USC. So there you go. So if everything, which it's not going to because we have to play Texas at the end, so that's going to make things really, really interesting. If this stays how it stays, and Texas and Utah play in the Big 12 championship, if one of those two teams loses, do they immediately get the rematch? Do they drop to the 4 seed and get the rematch? Or does Navy sneak in? Does Penn State sneak in at 9-1? The title contenders, you'd have to imagine right now as we're looking at it, obviously Utah and Texas, but they're going to be playing each other. So you got Utah and Texas at 10-0. Fresno State of the Pac-16 also at 10-0, and USF of the Big East at 10-0. Navy of the Big East right on the outskirts. In fact, Navy and USF are playing each other coming up this next week. So number 4 versus number 5, that's going to be one of the biggest games of the year. 4 and 5, 1 and 2 coming up. So if Navy beats USF, that would keep both those teams in the hunt for that final playoff spot when the Big 12 championship happens. If Navy loses with 2 losses, they might be out of it. Penn State, they still have an outside shot here at 9-1. It's going to come down to a lot of the conference titles too. And you have to start maybe considering some of the 2-loss teams. That's if this stays the same. If teams start losing, then that's really going to open things up. But if this all stays the same, if Fresno wins out, if USF wins out, and then 12-0 plays 12-0 in the Big 12 championship, does one of these 1-loss teams sneak in? Or if there's a bunch of 2-loss teams, you have to imagine it's not going to matter. It's going to be the difference of, does the committee do an automatic rematch? If you lose, does the 1-loss team drop all the way below to the 4 seed, and do we have the immediate rematch? That's going to be up to the committee to decide. Do any other teams have an outside chance? Everyone's got, maybe SMU, Conference USA. That's going to be a long shot. They're all the way down there. They're at 8-1. But everything else is kind of, no one's really in it unless these teams start losing to give these 2-loss teams a chance. You're right now 6 playoff contending teams are Utah, Texas, Fresno State, USF, Navy, and Penn State. Depending on how these games end up, if Ohio State wins the Big Ten championship at 10-2, they can maybe sneak in. Iowa, maybe at 10-2, can also sneak in, but that's going to be all dependent on what happens here. Miami also could sneak in if they win the ACC championship. So a lot of interesting stuff. Maybe Tennessee also at 8-2, and Georgia Tech, who won the national title not that long ago. There was twice they were in the national championship, weren't they? Gonna refer to Patreon again. They not. Let me just scroll up to the top here. Yeah, Georgia Tech. They went season 17. They went in season 15 to the national championship game. So they've been one of those dominant teams. They did not win the ACC last season. That went to Miami, but they won it the year before that. They went 15-0. So there you go. Going to be interesting going forward So thank you guys for joining us. We want to thank Tristan Mack for joining us as well as being a new follower. We got undefeated versus winless up next. We did that in Madden recently with the Broncos and the Jets. Kansas and Utah, and then we got the big game with Colorado, and we got Texas on the horizon. I'm pretty sure that there's absolutely no way. We'll have to look at these standings here, but I think, let's see here. If we lose twice, if we lose to Kansas and lose to Colorado, then Colorado may be able to steal our spot for the Big 12 championship. Texas, I don't know, because they beat Oklahoma already, so even if they lose twice, I think they're in no matter what. But it seems like it's all setting up for a Utah-Texas championship showdown. We've been setting up for that all season long. Thank you guys for joining us. Happy retirement to Tom Brady if it's true. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.